Alright, good afternoon everybody. Let's make sure this is working. Got a motorcycle literally like 6 inches off my back bumper here, so I'm trying to juggle things here and not get into a wreck with this lunatic here. I don't know what he's doing. We're in Georgia again. Severe thunderstorm watch has been posted, and I'll hopefully have more information on that shortly. Today's going a little bit unexpected. Things have started going up a little bit earlier than I thought. We'll talk about this here in a couple of minutes. We'll let everybody join in, but of course we're live in the Radar Omega app. If you've been watching there, we've been live for a couple of minutes now there. Here's the synopsis. That's what we're looking at. Got a severe thunderstorm warning. Bigger picture also shows severe thunderstorms in Alabama. I don't know if we're in the right target or not, but I think that this is an okay storm to be on. We're going to drive up a ways and see if we can see it. Sorry about the signal being a little bit crappy here. A lot of tree cover, so yeah. If you haven't seen Twitter, you can check out Twitter and see my latest interaction with Love's Travel Stops. We'll talk about that in a minute, but if you want the spoiler, go check it out. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. It's pretty interesting. Just got warning. Thanks, Kelly.
Moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This line of storms has a history of producing tree and power lines damage. Source, radar indicated. Impact. Locations impacted include Laguna, Jackson, Locust Grove, Porterdale, St. Heinsberg, Stewart, Blacksville, Tooele, Ola, Worth, Luella, Centreville, Rocky Plains, and Waco. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. If you see wind damage, hail, or flooding, wait until the storm has passed and then call the National Weather Service toll-free at 1-866-7-634-4664 or tweet us your report at NWS Atlanta.
Alright, so we're trying to get in position on that. This isn't like chasing out on the plains. This is nothing but tree cover, so it's not as exciting as one might hope. As soon as we get better signal, I'll tell you the story about Loves. We'll see if they send me a cease and desist letter, but they were so bad that I had to make a post about it. They were so stinking nasty, I had to make a post about it. Frickin' Loves is out here all over Twitter kissing butt. More bootlickers with all these storm chasers. They're like, oh, we love when you guys stop at our stores. We love these storm chasers. I don't know the exposed blown out on this camera right now. I'll take a look at that when I can. There's too much traffic on this road right now. There's too much traffic to take a look at that. Well, actually, I could take a look at it, but these people are on my ass. I'm speeding as it is. Don't understand their problem. Yeah, so I'm at Love's and I locked my keys in the truck. It's not a big deal. I can call OnStar. So I went in, I called OnStar, and they're like, yeah, hold on. So I had to go through the security checks. It took like 10 to 15 minutes to get the key, to get them to open the lock, but it's no big deal. Meanwhile, this is happening. I'm in Love's because, I can't do anything while I'm blocking the pump and my keys are locked in. So I just went inside. It's freaking hot out. And this lady comes over the intercom. No jokes. It's exactly, she's like, whoever's at pump 10, you are blocking all my customers. You need to move your vehicle if you're just going to sit there and block my pump. And I'm like, okay, lady. So I go up to the counter, and as I'm on the phone with OnStar, I'm like, hey, that's my vehicle. My keys are locked in the truck. I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. Keep in mind there's open pumps, folks. She goes, well, you can get fucked because you're no more important than anybody behind you waiting for gas. And then she does this stupid little thing at me, and I'm like, wow, you are just freaking prime American, aren't you? God, what an awful woman. She was a nasty bitch. And I was going to write it off just thinking that she was having a bad day, and then I go out and the maintenance worker is out there waiting for me. And he just goes off on me with his attitude, shaking his little hand at me and waving me off. And I'm like, buddy, I'm on the phone with him, and then click, the door's unlocked. I said, yeah, my keys were locked in it because I'm not used to this truck. I haven't been driving it for 2 weeks. I'm on the phone with OnStar. It just got unlocked. What do you want me to do? And I just smiled at him, and he looks at me. He just stared at me. And I said, have a great effing day. And I drove off, and then I recorded the interaction. I was like, today's not the day to be I was going to let it go thinking it was one person having a bad day, but no, apparently all the people that work there are jerks. So we'll see what Loves has to say about that. But that really pissed me off. Before you're an asshole to people, you should maybe assume that maybe there's, don't assume, maybe make sure something's not wrong. Maybe, yeah, it's weird that the vehicle has been sitting there for 15 minutes. That is kind of weird. But instead of going after this person with a bunch of attitude and being really mean and nasty, maybe we should ask if everything's okay first. There could have been, what if I was in here and what if I would have had a seizure or something and been passed out at the wheel, and there she's bitching over the intercom and the maintenance guy's throwing a fit. And then she's like, well, I'm calling the police. I'm like, you call the police. Go for it. God, what a freaking... I swear I'm going to get a body-worn camera and just start wearing it all the time to catch these interactions just for entertainment purposes only. I couldn't believe it. So... If they want to be like that, that's fine. You know, I can be like that too and put it on the internet. It's not going to change anything, but it's entertaining at least. We found the storm, folks. This is it. So I'm going to see if I can find us a spot to look. Maybe the substation here. I got to get this traffic off my bumper too. This is getting ridiculous.
Thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Motorists should slow down and be prepared for possible loss. Nighttime for north central and west central Georgia. A strong thunderstorm will impact portions of southwestern Troop
Let me see if I can fix this.
Harris counties through 5:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 4:39 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a strong thunderstorm was over Piedmont Heights, or 9 miles west of Lagrange, moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. Hazard, up to 40 miles per hour wind, pea-sized hail and frequent ground-to-ground lightning. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect minor damage to tree limbs and blowing around of light, unsecured objects. Locations impacted include Lagrange, West Point, Piedmont Heights, Cannonville, Jones Crossroads, Voss Crossroads, State Line Park, Abbotsford, Smith's Crossroad, Whitesville Pine Lake, and Long Cane. People outdoors should seek shelter immediately. If you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning.
That's a little better. I don't know why it's so blown out.
In effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for west central Georgia. Due to the threat of severe weather, no weather radio station WXG31 has interrupted its normal weather programming. We will resume normal broadcasting once the threat has passed. Visit our website at
Alright, so this is severe thunderstorm warning for 60 mile an hour winds.
For the latest weather information, including watches and
Might just go get on 75.
The National Weather Service.
No shelf cloud, no nothing. This kind of sucks.
Storm watch number 636, effective until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This watch includes the following counties in Georgia: Bibb, Clayton, Goida, Crawford.
Yeah, severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 11. I did show that graphic on the internet, or Twitter and everything. Alright, let's get back over to I-75. Shut up, truck. Let's get back over to I-75, because its visibility is a little better on I-75. We'll get back out ahead of this thing. But thanks for listening to my complaint about Love's Travel Stop. But no, what I think is... I just think it's ironic because, you know, Loves, they're like, oh, you know, we're the most friendly travel stop. We love you. We have a heart on our sign. And then they had that happen.
Northwest.
Whatever. Everybody has bad days. Even me. LOL. But that doesn't mean that you got to be like that. Holy crap. The fact that that lady was taking it so personal. She's just like, you're blocking everybody. I'm sick and tired of people doing this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, lady, you are paid the same whether someone's blocking a gas pump or not. Was I not supposed to go this way? Oh, you frickin' piece of shit. Come on, Google, you piece of junk. Come on. Alright, it figured it out. There's a look at our Radar Omega display. Folks, if you don't use Radar Omega, please consider trying it. It means a lot to myself and the rest of the team. You can find download links at seethestorm.net.
Turn right.
We do have a lot of folks that are very, very good and proficient with using it in our Discord group as well. A lot of our audience members are experts with Radar Omega. So you are more than welcome to ask your questions here in the chat. If I see them, I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, I'm sure somebody else can help you out too.
Turn right.
It is a fantastic... Turn right? No. It's a fantastic application, and that's what we use here. So if you are watching the live stream in the Radar Omega app, appreciate you for following along there as well. can also follow the Radar Omega Twitter and Facebook account. The social media team does a really, really good job of posting clips of the live stream within just a few minutes of them happening when something interesting does happen. Much quicker than I can do it. So even if you're not planning to watch the stream, that's a good account to follow on social media. So when you can't watch the stream, you can at least know what's going on. Yep, there goes the signal. Nope, someday when I'm president of the United States, I'm going to tell these phone carriers to get some better coverage out here, my God. Everything, we talk about wanting to run everything on the internet, self-driving cars and all this stuff. Meanwhile, they can't even send a freaking tweet from rural Georgia. Nothing against any of you folks in Georgia. It's not your fault, but man, the service out here kind of sucks. And again, I'm sorry for the camera having it's just overexposing for some reason. I don't know if I screwed up a setting or what, but it shouldn't be like that. I'll take a look at it later. I will definitely take a look at this later. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't like that it's doing that because you can't see the damn clouds. No, Lori, you don't have to pay a monthly fee for Radar Omega. But the option is there. There's several different tiers, so if you want to add features, you can pay monthly. Otherwise, if you just want the base product, you don't have to pay monthly. So, yes and no.
Turn left.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research here. As we go down south, we're going to, like I said, folks, we're going to try to drop south, get ahead of this. But I've been doing a lot of research here. Might change some of the streaming infrastructure on my end. I'm thinking about self-hosting a lot of stuff again, so I'm probably going to have to put a lot of time and effort back into this, but I think I got a way to make it make more sense. So maybe we can stabilize the stream a little more than it is. Try to get you a view here before we get back into the trees. Yeah, look at that. Fantastic view right there. Oh, look, a tree, another tree, another tree, another tree. It's not prime storm chasing territory here. Stuff seems to be kind of moving a little bit more southeast than it was maybe now, a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe go down there to Jackson. Maybe that would actually be a better thing to do here. Yeah, let's go down to Jackson.
Turn left.
I just don't think that we've got... If we had a nice shelf cloud on here, I'd be more willing to just go to 75 and south, but that gust front, there's no... I'm not seeing a shelf cloud or anything with this. Anything like when we just encountered it a bit ago is kind of lame looking, so... We'll go down to Jackson, Georgia. We're located right here. Jackson is down here.
And moving south at 15 miles per hour. Hazard Up to 40 miles per hour wind, frequent cloudy ground, lightning, and heavy rain. Around the block, unsecured objects. Heavy rain may cause temporary street flooding, especially in forestry areas. Heavy rain, food, Captain, Brooks, Waelti, Sunnyside, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Blake Horton, Birdie, England, and Experiment.
There goes the signal again.
Thunder, draw close enough to be struck by lightning. Motorists, slow down and be prepared for possible loss of control due to hydroplaning. A severe thunderstorm watch released in effect until 11. Control due to hydroplaning. Due to severe thunderstorm warning for northeast Paulding County in west central Georgia, southern Henry County in north central Georgia, northern Woods County in central Georgia, southwest.
I don't know why the audio is all distorted on that. Hold on. Noise reduction.
Along a line extending from Oakland, Dunnet to New Hampton, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles.
Yeah, there's a switch on my speaker here for noise reduction. I got turned on. Now it's fine.
Radar indicated. Impact. Should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio, and television outlets.
Right on the edge of this storm, folks.
Weather information. It's 4 p.m. in Peachtree City. It was mostly sunny. 89 degrees, dew point 71, relative humidity 65%. Wind west at 9 miles an hour. Pressure was...
Thanks everybody for joining. If you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel.
The National Weather Service in Peachtree City has...
I think 1 year ago today I was on my way out to California for Tropical Storm Hillary. I think. Wasn't that the 20th? I don't know. I was on my way out, I think. That was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right.
That California outing. I've been to California before, but I never spent actual time there, for more than like half a day or anything. And it was kind of nice to go somewhere different. Really need to start monitoring like the Southwest monsoon season, or basically what's left of it. Or maybe if there's any slight risks or anything out there, even in Utah, it'd be fantastic to go out there and just see something different. Don't get me wrong, like I like chasing out here and on the plains, but it's nice to go somewhere you don't normally go every now and then. It's not that you get bored with the same areas, you kind of do, but it's nice to see something different. Hillary was a lot of fun. Even just the drive out there alone was fun. It was not fun when that asshat stole all the shit out of my truck. That was not fun, but the rest of it was. I still think I know who did that. I won't say it because I don't want to get sued for defamation, but I think one of these days I'm going to be able to prove it. I think I can prove who did it one of these days. It's going to take time. But all I'm going to say, folks, that's nobody that you guys know. But it was really suspicious. I had $500 in cash and a brand new MacBook in the package and stuff, literally sitting in the back seat. I never do that. That was the only time I left cash and anything expensive in the truck. It always comes out at the end of the day. I have no idea why I left it in. I think I forgot about it. But because it's tied to my account, like it was somebody who doesn't like me teach me a lesson or something. There was an interaction back in 2019 where somebody said they were going to get me back and steal my shit someday. That's literally what they said. So I think I might know who did it, but I can't say it publicly until I prove it. Once I prove it, I'll blast the hell out of them, but that still pissed me off.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left.
Like a real criminal would have taken the cash. Just saying. Maybe not the MacBook because, you know, Apple trade, you know, everything can be tracked, but should have at least taken the cash. But yeah, that was last August. Forgot where we were. We in Thousand Palms or something? Palm Springs? I don't know. Alright, gotta go around here. I don't know why it's taking me this way, but whatever. It's looping me back around, I guess. I don't know. The roads out here are so screwy.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right.
Oh yeah, the shoe. Yeah, that shoe's probably still out there somewhere. Speed hump. Oh, that looks like a mean one too. Pretty houses out here. I'll be honest with you folks, I'm not a huge fan of the West Coast. And it's nothing to do with, you know, you people that actually live up there. It's got nothing to do with you guys. I can't afford the gas. I can't afford the infrastructure. I can't afford to spend a lot of time out there. It is just really, 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 really expensive to be traveling out there. I just not a huge fan of it. Anything west of the Rockies is really kind of tough for me. But yeah, I remember it's $7.20 a gallon. My God, that sucked. Oh yeah, the earthquake. I forgot about the earthquake. Yeah. Yep, there was that earthquake and everybody started freaking out thinking that like the world was going to end or something. I remember that. The earthquake during the tropical storm. I remember hearing about that. Everybody was just freaking out about it. Now, when I say freaking out, I do not mean the locals. It was definitely the people that were there for the storm, because some of these chasers were just like, oh my God, I think it's the storm surge. I think the storm surge triggered an earthquake. You know, everybody became a geologist. Which, this guy doesn't have working brake lights. That's not good. Somebody needs to fix that. That's going to be an accident soon. But everybody became a geologist. And I don't know if the storm had anything to do with the earthquake or not, but I just remember everybody on Twitter was like, oh my God, it's the once in a lifetime thing. The storm triggered the earthquake. I was like, dude, it's California. It happens like every 10 minutes. But yeah, I remember that. We'll never forget that. Yeah, everybody was a geologist that day, that's for sure. Except for me, I think rocks are boring. No offense to our geologist friends out there, but I did meet a geologist once. This dude, I forgot what his name was. Gosh dang it. This guy in, we were in South Dakota. No, Montana, Glendive, Montana. Just like out walking around, and this dude comes up. We were originally, before this guy came up, we were talking about how the rocks look like potatoes or something. It's totally, really, low intelligence type conversation about how the rocks look like potatoes. And then this guy came up and he's like, well, actually, and he's like going off about these rocks, and we're just like, what are you, a geologist or something? And he's like, yes. I'm like, oh, okay. The guy wasn't like annoying. He was actually somewhat interesting. So we were walking around that Makashika, whatever that park is up there, national park in like Glendive, Montana. We were walking around. He was like telling us all about these like fossils and stuff we could find. He was like showing us stuff that guy thought when he walked up and we were talking about how the rocks looked like potatoes. Probably thought we were the dumbest people in the world, but that was actually kind of interesting. Of course, we're still heading down this highway. I don't see anything to report here. Trees. I just, you know what? We're not fake on this channel. We show you you see what I see, and I'm just not seeing much. But we still are under a severe thunderstorm warning, so we're going to continue here for a while. Things can change. Looks like that storm south of Carrollton went warm. That actually looks pretty good. We should go after that. I wonder how long it would take to get over there, south of Noonan. Hold on, this car decided to take a nap right there, I guess. There's nobody in it. Gosh, I wonder how long it takes to get over there.
They just rewarned of your current storm to the southeast. But yeah, it looks like that storm south of Carrollton might be interesting. And, alternatively, there's also that storm down by LaGrange. It looks pretty robust too. But all are pretty far.
Yeah, we won't catch LaGrange, but I was wondering about that one coming out of Carrollton. It's an hour.
It's being, what is it? Southeast.
This line might fill it. Because I think the farther southeast we go with this, I think the roads get worse.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's probably a good play. There's also that stuff firing just west of the Carrollton storm. It'll probably, we'll probably see some more storms filling in here. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, we'll go over for that Noonan storm, the one coming out of Carrollton. I guess, I mean, this one is kind of lame. Oh, look at that. We had some whale's mouth action going on there. But yeah, this storm's kind of lame. Let's go to another one. This dude just honked at me. Dude, there's a car coming.
Thunderstorm warning remains in effect until time. in Georgia, Lynn, Lettuce, Clayton, Coita, Crawford, Simmons, Harris, Emmett, Vermont, Merriweather, Monroe, Price, Bolden, Calvin, Taylor, and Upton. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds.
That's a long train. Look at that, it's double stacked even. It's like a bonus train. I don't know. It's not taking much here for excitement on this stream today. We got the bar set pretty low here. We got a freaking train. And you know what, folks? I just know we have a spike in viewers right now. So maybe we just need to sit and watch the trains all day if that's really what people want to see. Nobody wants to watch storm chasing. They just want to watch a train.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left.
Alright, we want to get over toward Noonan. Thanks, Darla. Noonan, that's this storm over here. So we got to go there. We'll be on that storm in a little bit, probably about 50 minutes. It's moving at 25 miles an hour. If my calculations are correct, which are pretty basic here, we just take this and draw it 25-ish miles out. It'll be right where we're going in about an hour. So we can make it. Pending any sort of screw-ups. Oh my god, $2.89 for gas. Look at this, folks. I'm moving to Georgia. $2.89 right there. You know what it was at Love's? More than that. Screw Love's. They're on my bad side now. I thought about making that a thing. Should go back in that video and tag Casey's and Pilot and freaking TA and all that. Get them bickering with each other. That's probably what's going to happen because a bunch of people on that thread are like at Casey's, at Pilot and stuff. So I know there's going to be some snide comment from somebody's social media team coming soon. The Noonan severe warning is not really anything more impressive than what we got here. Oops. Than what we got here. But I don't know, guys. We're not expecting a robust severe event today. In fact, I'm actually surprised that we have a severe event happening at all. So it just kind of is what it is at this point. And for you folks that are looking at the camera and thinking, what the hell is wrong with this picture? I don't know why it's so overexposed. I think I messed up a setting on the camcorder. And I will fix that. I will take a look at that tonight. Thanks, Darcy. I will definitely take a look at that. Because it should not be that blown out. I don't know why it's like that. I wonder if I can manually lower the exposure comp. Ah, shit. Uh-oh. Zebra? What the frick does any of this shit do? Help. This ain't right. Oh, frick. White balance auto, spot meter auto, spot focus auto, exposure auto. We want it on auto exposure. Is there a way to do like priority on this thing? Shutter speed auto, AGC, AE shift. What's that? Auto exposure shift? Turn off intelligent auto. Copy. Let's lower the exposure comp. Let's lower it half. That's a little better? Thanks, Mike. Is that better, guys? I think that's better. I still need to look at it because there is when I first bought this, I've definitely screwed something up. When I first bought this, there's a setting in there that I have to change that doesn't make the sky look like garbage. And it's like it's some stupid like image effect that oversaturates stuff. Not getting any of that. I will have to mess with this at the hotel tonight and figure that out. Amar, thanks.
Therefore, the warning has been canceled.
Yeah, I will take a look at that because that's really going to annoy me.
Turn right.
Until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for
It's not a huge problem right now, but like if we had a tornado or something, I would be really pissed if the tornado video looked like garbage.
in effect until 5:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for southeastern Henry, central and south central Newton counties,
That's pretty.
and 5:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
I want to invest in some more cameras. Like this camera on the roof, really nice. I want to put one of those on the front hood so that we can have we can use that because I think it's a nicer camera. But I want to invest in some more. Man, they're freaking expensive.
About that, Rated did sing, but I was going to tell you that it looks a lot better.
Which one does? Noonan?
Oh no, the camera quality, like the exposure looks a lot better now.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
But yeah, actually, the storm to your east is looking a little more robust too. So I guess it's you have two options, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go west for now. It's kind of writing that off.
Okay, sounds good.
But they're freaking expensive. Like $400 for these stinking little cameras. It's ridiculous. Then you kind of look at it, it's like, is it really worth $400, or could we do something else with $400? You know what I mean? Like, do you really want to buy this camera for $400, or is there a better camera for $400? That's why I've kind of been holding off, because I feel like I can get something better for that, for what it is, because it's just basically a waterproof broadcast, SDI type camera, which is fine. I mean, it is a broadcast camera, so it's going to be more expensive, but I feel like there might be a better one for that price. I just need to find it. So I need to do a little bit of research. It's kind of, I really don't like, it doesn't matter how much money I've got. If I've got $50,000 in my hand, which doesn't happen, but if that happened, it's still, I'm always hesitant to buy things unless I know it's like the best thing for the money. I'm really weird about that. I grew up with like $0, so I always had to be really, really careful with what you spent it on. Like the toothbrushes. I was at Walmart. I needed a new toothbrush because I broke this morning. I bought a new toothbrush, and I'm like, well, shit. For $2.97, I feel like I should be getting more toothbrush than I am. And you know what? I looked down in the bottom shelf, and guess what? A 2-pack for $2.97. It's like, oh, hell yeah, I'll buy the 2-pack for $2.97. That's a totally terrible example, but kind of a nice toothbrush. Here, I'll show you guys. If you're wondering how I broke it, it fell on the floor and I didn't know it, and then I shut it in the bathroom door. See, I got a 2 for toothbrush here. It's an Equate. It says it removes plaque, and it's in a recycled package. Got any guarantees on this thing? Has angled bristles to clean between your teeth. Oh, no shit, huh? You gotta be kidding me. This frickin' toothbrush has bristles on it to clean your teeth? You gotta be kidding me. Never would have guessed. What a stupid thing to put on the freaking package. Paper box with plant-based window. And if you think I'm joking, that's literally what it says right there. Paper box with plant-based window. What a freaking steal for $2.97. I don't know. Maybe it's also because I grew up watching Price is Right. My grandpa was a old geezer that was always watching Price is Right, and anytime I was over there, it was always Price is Right. So I got really good at Price is Right, and I feel like if you watch Price is Right, you just turn into a cheapskate. But not this new Price is Right. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind that Drew guy, but you don't hold a candle to frickin' Bob Barker. I miss Bob Barker. I like that guy. It's too bad he's not able to. Well, he's dead now, I think. Sorry. I was gonna say it's too bad he's not able to do this show anymore, but I'm pretty sure he died. I'm not for certain on that. I honestly don't know. So I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just really don't know. But no, Price is Right. It's like the best show ever. When I was in school, we didn't have class at from 10 to 11 or whatever it was. I would sit there and stream Price is Right on the computer. And the school I went to was rural. It's really weird. Like, some of the teachers were just they didn't make no freaking sense. They were so out of tune with the real world. But some of them were really, really good. Yeah, we only had 20 kids in the class, and I don't know, I'm sitting there watching Price is Right. I remember getting yelled at. Just freaking sitting in the library, and this librarian lady waddles over, and she freaking threw a fit. She's like, "You need to be studying, blah, 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 blah." I was just like, well, I don't have anything to do, so I'm watching the Price is Right. Well, you need to be doing something educational. And I sat there and argued with her for 10 minutes. I'm like, I think this is educational, because you know what? I know the price of that freaking tuna can now like the back of my hand. So when I go to the grocery store, I know how much that freaking tuna is going to cost. And it was the stupidest argument ever. The most pointless thing. And eventually she just gave up and left me alone. But I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that these kids could be doing in this freaking library, and you're worried about the Price is Right. Whatever. Meanwhile, the math and physics teacher, I mean, we were doing dumb crap, lighting shit on fire and launching it with homemade, we built catapults, and we lit shit on fire and launched them with it. Pretty sure he got in trouble for that, but I don't think he cared. Like I said, it was a rural school, folks. Get away with whatever you want to do, because nobody was going to fire the teachers, because nobody wanted their job. But I hated school. I hated it. I felt like I didn't learn anything that I use today. There's some exceptions to that, but overall, I feel like I've taught myself everything that I know how to do. I feel like I've gone and taught myself, or gotten the education outside of school. I feel like I don't use most of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. Elementary school, middle school, it's a little different because you're learning basics of life. But you get into high school and the stupid home economics or whatever the hell, family and consumer sciences, whatever the hell they call it. The teacher was just a freaking snot. Even the other teachers talked crap about her in the teacher's lounge. And I'll tell you why I know about that in a minute. It's a good story, but it's just teaching you what side of the plate to put the fork on, and if you screwed it up, you got an F. And I'm just like, I'm not using this in my life. I don't give a crap. Teach me something I can use. Meanwhile, you go into the ag class with the ag teacher who's in his 60s, was a farmer, retired from farming, goes and teaches ag class, and he's teaching people how to weld and fix their cars. And I'm not kidding. He had a class to teach you how to fix your car. He had a class to learn how to weld. That was the stuff that I used. That's really the only place I was ever taught how to weld. I suck at welding, but I still learned how to do it. If I have to do it, I can do it. And you know what? Welders make damn good money. So somebody could have taken that and ran with it. And it always sucked because they were always pulling kids out of his class to go do other things. Or, if you weren't doing good in science, you had to give up your ag class. You had to go do that. I always thought that was stupid, because that ag stuff, especially in an agriculture community that we grew up in, that was really important. And he retired a couple of years ago, and now they got some young kid in there teaching it. And I guess from what I'm hearing, really sucks. Nothing against bringing in young blood, but you can't beat these old, I'm sorry, these old geezers that probably should retire, but they don't retire. They keep teaching school. Those are usually the best teachers out there, because, number one, they don't take kids as shit when they're being jerks. But number two, they actually teach you something that you're going to use in life. I tell you what, the most information I took out of school was that ag class, because I can use that stuff every day. The fixing cars. We did probably more math in ag class than we did in math class. Nothing against the math teacher. He was good. But we learned more math in ag because we were calculating crop yields per acreage and all this. And just everybody always shit on the ag teacher. They're just like, this is just ag class. You can miss it. I was like, no, that was honestly, I think kids learned more in that class than they learned in any other class. And that's the only stuff I can remember from school. And you know what? We didn't get homework in that class. We sat there on our phones half of the time because we were responsible about it. Nobody was sitting there mouthing off and being a jerk because they had respect for this guy because he was older and he's been through life, and he was very polite, very decent with people. You know, didn't have unrealistic expectations. He knew that cell phones were the future, so he wasn't one of those jerks, "Oh, put your phones away." No, he was smart about it. He's like, you know what, if you can use your phone as a tool to figure out what we're doing, then go do it. You know, and I appreciate that, because how many people in school were told, you'll never have a calculator in your pocket, you need to learn how to do this. And that was the biggest lie we were all told. Granted, you should still know how to do things without your phone, but they're not going anywhere, and to deny their existence is just silly. But the reason I knew the teachers were talking smack about that home ec ladies class, a very rural school, and our IT person was just a lady that happened to know. She basically knew how to Control Alt Delete and open the control panel in Windows XP. That was basically the extent of her IT knowledge, and she was very open about that. But they couldn't figure out how to make their little computer for the time clock or whatever work in the teacher's lounge. And this lady knew that I knew what I was doing with computers. So it was like real weird. Like she had I don't know. She didn't want the office staff hated me, by the way, but she didn't want the office staff to know that I was doing this or whatever. So she came up to me and pulled me aside. She's like, "I need you to look at this." I'm like, "Okay." Well, the problem was they resetted the computer or whatever, reinstalled Windows, and it didn't sync with the time zone wasn't correct. So the time didn't sync. So the time clock, it wouldn't let you do anything. It was like an HTTPS error, something, whatever. Couldn't do what you wanted to do. So I set the clock, and then she offered to give me $50. That's the kind of school I went to. There's very rural, very small. I didn't take the money, but she offered to pay me under the table. I thought it was kind of funny, but those were kind of the fun times at school. But the office staff didn't like me because
that storm just north of Griffin looks like it's intensifying a little bit.
Where's Griffin?
Just to your west.
Oh, okay. It must be this one we're looking at here. But I was always leaving school to go to work. And when I was 18, I was on the ambulance, and we'd get ambulance calls at the end of the day. And guess what? I got up and left. Sorry, gotta leave. This pays, you don't. And you know what? I will fully admit, any of you school teachers out there, I get where you're coming from. But at the same time, my family had no money. I wanted to try to do something with my life and pay for some sort of college, even if it was tech school or whatever. So I didn't care. I got suspended for it. I got these detentions that I never showed up for because the school can't legally hold you there. That's false imprisonment. If I'm 18, if I want to get up, because I was 18 for my whole senior year, if I wanted to get up and walk out, I really can't do nothing about it. So that's kind of what I did. And you know what? Maybe it was a bad attitude to have, and fine. But I needed money, and I needed to make freaking money. Because the second I graduated, I was going to be out on my own. And I couldn't go into that world with having $0. So sometimes that meant I had to just leave, and I got suspended for a week and whatever. I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. And I didn't feel bad about it. It's like, I need to make some money so I can do something with my life.
The National Weather
New severe warning.
Peachtree City has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Meriwether County in west central Georgia, southern Coahuila County in west central Georgia, until 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:26 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Newton, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour.
All right, 60 mile an hour wind gusts on that. We're still heading that way. But, yeah, and you know what? It's probably a bad attitude to have, or probably was a bad attitude to have. I probably shouldn't have been doing that, but you know what? I had a job. I had a job and I had a semi-volunteer position, and I took a lot of pride in them. And my job, the people that owned the cell phone store when I was going to that, they knew it. The school called the cops at one point. The cops went there, and they're like, this kid's supposed to be in school. And they're like, well, he's 18. Take it up with him. And they tried to get this freaking office staff tried to get me written for truancy or whatever. And I'm like, I am 18 years old. Maybe it's not a good life decision to walk out on some of this crap, but I need money. Like, I have nowhere to live when I graduate in May. Like, I have nowhere to live. I have got to get some freaking money. I need money so that I can get a better job and pay for some sort of education. Oh, well, there's programs you can do for financial aid. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to carry that debt around. No, I need to make some effing money. I was lucky enough to have a job that paid me like $20 an hour. And especially, 11 years ago, that was a lot of freaking money, especially when you were in high school. Holy crap. And I needed it. And I left. And you know what was funny was most of the teachers actually respected that, because the last class of the day was a business class, and the business teacher, he was a younger guy. He was probably like 26, 27. And he knew what I was doing. He knew why I was doing it, and he never bothered me. He never marked me as absent. He always said I was there when I wasn't. Maybe that wasn't very professional on his part, but you know what? I appreciated him kind of watching out for that. And he never said anything. If I'd leave, he wouldn't make a big deal about it. And like I said, after about 2 months of this going on, just up and leaving at the end of the day, the school was like, you can't even, they're like, you can't go to school here if you're going to do that. And I'm like, well, I have all my credits to graduate, so can't I just graduate early? No. And I'm like, okay, well, if I just up and leave and never show up until until graduation, like, do I still get my diploma since I have my credits? And they're like, well, we have to check on that. And they did tell me, I went to school where they're like, well, yes, you do have your credits, so we have to allow you to graduate. I'm like, okay. Turn left here, I guess. I'm like, okay. Like, so I guess I told him, I said, so do I drop out, or what do I do here? And basically what it came into is, like, nobody had an answer. So for the last, 5 months of school, I just left and went to work when I had to, and that was just the end of it. And, whatever, call me an irresponsible jerk, I don't care. Last time I said this story, I got a bunch of comments saying I'm irresponsible. Whatever, judge me. But what I will tell you is, it was the best decision of my life to handle that time of my life the way that I did, because without it, I probably wouldn't be here doing this. So I'm not telling you to, not stay in school or whatever. I'm just saying that's just what I ended up doing. You want me to go straight? Really? But like I said, I was lucky to have some good teachers, though, that understood what I was doing and didn't give me any problems. It was the principal that just wanted to be nosy with literally everybody. I mean, she had no respect for the kids that were 18 at all, because you know what, when you're 18, here's the deal, you know what, I get it, you're going to school, you got to abide by school rules, fine, but she didn't know how to talk to people, she didn't know how to de-escalate situations, she was always kind of, somebody would be a little bit late for school, and she's like, well, now you have to have an hour detention, and they're like, well, I am 18, and I'm not going to be held against my will, which, you know what, if the rules of going to school are, if you're late, you got to stay an hour late, whatever, I guess you're kind of agreeing to those terms by going to school, but at the same time, going off on somebody like that. That was a rural community. Stay home and milk. It was because something, a family member would get sick. know why this is a dead zone. This is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. What the hell is going on? We're in town. We're in freaking town. Why is this not doing this? I'll get back to the story. I don't know why this is... This is just ridiculous. We're in town. We should have signal. What is going on? Alright, we're getting signal back now. I don't know why. It shouldn't have dropped. We're in town. We should have good signal. Stand by, folks. I'm trying to confirm that we have signal. But what I was saying was, it was a rural school, and this lady just would not accept the fact that sometimes kids had to stay home and stuff for farm chores. We had a bunch of times families would have to keep their kids home from school to help on the farm. If somebody was sick or couldn't milk the cows, kids would have to stay home, milk the cows, bale hay. And it was just really irritating. Like, the school as a whole understood that, but the principal she was just a bitch about it. I'm like, you know what? God dang, that's what I hated school, because I felt like I was kind of past that, right? Like, I wanted to go to work. I wanted to get a job. I didn't want to sit there and twiddle my thumbs here and sit there in, home economics class and learn which side of the plate to put my freaking fork on. I tell you, the day that I actually walked out of school for reasons that weren't like work, the day I was actually so mad that I walked out of school and I went to the office and I told the office that I was leaving because I was so offended. We were in this home economics class, and this is the one time this teacher was trying to teach us something that actually made sense. She's trying to teach people how to do like a budget all of a sudden, which surprised me, because normally she was teaching people how to pop popcorn and put your fork on the table. And she had this exercise where we had to put on a piece of paper how much money we had in the bank and this and that and all that. And she told everyone, she's like, and you need to use how much money you have because we're calculating your net worth. And she didn't, she should have been like, why don't you make up a number and we're going to learn how to do this? But no, she's like, you have to put this. And she had people like coming up and writing on a freaking whiteboard. And like, we're going around and like these kids are literally writing how much money they think they have in the bank on there. And I sat there with my arms crossed and said, I'm not putting that number on the board. And she's just like, well, you have to. And I said, I'll make one up. Like, I'm happy to do these calculations, but I'm not going to write how much money I have. And you know what? Somebody in the audience is going to be like, you should have just made something up and not said anything. You're right, I should have. But it was the principal, because this was stupid. It was stupid. Like, no, I'm not going to sit there and measure my PP and try to make it bigger than Tom, Dick, or Harry's over there. Some kid writes they've got $5,000 on the board. I'm not going to be the one that writes $3,000 and feel like a piece of crap. Screw that. And like, I was just sitting there. I'm like, I said I don't feel comfortable putting how much money I have on a whiteboard for 15 kids to see. And like, she's like, well, we're gonna stop this exercise until you do that. And I'm like, I said, okay. I literally grabbed my shit. I walked up. I went past the office, and I'm like, you know what? I probably should tell him. So I circled back and I said, hey, this is why I'm leaving. I'm so freaking pissed off. I said, I'm gonna start dropping F-bombs in this lady's face if I don't leave. I remember that's exactly what I said to this woman. And this was the one lady in the office that I kind of got along with, and she's like, she goes, she's really making you do that? I said, yeah. Keep in mind, her son was in that class. And she goes, well, I hope he doesn't do that. And I'm like, well, and she's just like, well, whatever. And I left. I'm like, I'm like, this is ridiculous. You know, it might not seem like a big deal to some people, but I grew up with nothing. And at the time, I had like $500 to my name, and these kids are putting $5,000, $8,000. Oh, I've got this one kid goes up there and writes, and I have $15,000 in my savings account. My dad left it for me when he like left his job. He got this payout, or whatever. I'm like, that must be freaking nice. I'm out here with no pot to piss in, making my own freaking money, and I've got like $500 in cash. That's it. Meanwhile, these kids are out there bragging about all this money they have and writing on a whiteboard. Now I'm going to be the fucking piece of shit that writes I've got $500 on there and get made fun of for the 6 more months I'm in school. No, piss on that. That woman, I couldn't believe she was doing that. And one of these kids went up there and wrote 0, and he's like, my parents won't let me get a job. And he was so freaking embarrassed that he had like zero money. I'm like, why would you make kids do that? You horrible, freaking, terrible woman. Like, that's literally how kids get bullied, and she was allowing it to happen. Like, you are a freaking, you make no sense. Now, I have to add a disclaimer. This is not Mrs. Kranig, because she actually watches. She was the teacher that left before the new teacher came. Just wanted to make that clear. But that was what, God, it drove me nuts. Like, God, like, holy smokes. The IRS, maybe she was a spy for the IRS, I don't know, but it's like, IRS is on line 1. Last I knew, you never, ever, ever tell anybody how much money you have. I think she was a spy for the IRS, the more I think about it. She's probably a tax collector. She's probably out there trying to figure this out. She's probably out there, oh, little Johnny didn't put this on his tax. Undercover IRS agent. Warning for this storm, by the way. Monitor this one.
Williamson, Orchard Hill, Eldora, East Griffin, Highland Mills, Experiment, Gaunties, Chapel Hill.
Oh, fuck it. Let's just go for this storm. I'm not going to freaking Noonan. We're going to go for this storm.
For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. If you see wind damage, hail or flooding, wait until the storm has passed, and then call the National Weather Service toll-free at 1-866-7-634-4664.
Oh, that's a big number.
Atlanta.
Let's go down to Barnesville. We've turned around 14 times today.
The severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Butts County is canceled. The storms which prompted the warning have moved out of the warned area. Therefore, the warning has been canceled. A severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for central Georgia. The National Weather Service impeached the severe...
Man, these people have some nice lawns. Holy shit.
County is canceled.
And please that HOA, I guess. Probably committing 14 HOA violations right now by turning around this driveway. It's okay. No offense to any of you HOA folks. I know most of them are fine, but some of them are yuck. Your grass is 2 centimeters too long. Here's a fine for $1,000. I think most HOAs probably are fine, but I know some of them are real jerks. Look at that. Now we've got a view. All we have to do is turn the frick around. So we're going to go down to Barnesville. We are in this severe thunderstorm warning right now. Right now, we are in the severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds. We were going to go to the Noonan storm, but I'll just go to this one since we're right here. So we'll just troll around a little bit in the area. This is kind of what today is going to be. We're not going to see a bunch of robust photogenic storms. It's just going to be these kind of pulse storms that go up and down.
In half a mile, turn right.
Fade in and out. We're just going to kind of have to make do with what we got. But super pretty storm, folks. You can track these a little bit more in detail in the Radar Omega app. Download that on our website, seethestorm.net. Sorry to spam everybody about the life stories, but sometimes it's nice to pass the time.
Turn right.
Be sure to like the stream as well, folks. Nobody's coming, so I'm going to turn right.
Johnstonville. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. If you see wind damage, hail or flooding, wait until the storm has passed, and then call the National Weather Service toll-free at 1-866-7-634-4664 or tweet us your report at NWS Atlanta. The severe thunderstorm.
True, but I don't...
Storm watch until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Georgia.
I have absolutely nothing against UK or Europe. up. Just want to make that very clear. However, there's some real low-hanging fruit when it comes to making funnies right now. And if you take U.S. politics out of the equation, I think the next lowest hanging fruit is probably the situation over there. So don't want to offend anybody over there. I know I offended one person last time, but understand that if we cannot joke about our equally shitty governments at times, then why are we even here? I probably cannot go to the UK now. I'm probably on the watch list to be arrested for joking about things. I'm also not allowed to enter Canada, Mexico, or South America at all. So, okay, that was a joke. However, I did accidentally once I did once accidentally enter Canada, and the Canadians did not give a shit. But I tell you what, the American Border Patrols, my God, you would have thought that I freaking was not from here, because, man, they were rude. Like, well, the guy's like, I don't understand how you accidentally crossed the border. I said, well, it wasn't really accidental, but Google told me I didn't need my passport. I had the other requirements that I needed to have, and when I went through, I asked the Canadian guy, I said, hey, is this good enough to enter? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, I have a passport, but it's not with me. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. He gave me all the documents. He's like, yeah, I see you have a valid passport, type. He's like, yep, no problem. Okay. I go to get back into the U.S., and oh my God. Just freaking 3,000 questions. Well, why did you go there? I said, well, I'm a storm chaser and there's storms. Well, I don't understand. Like, there's storms and I wanted to go look at them. Well, what's your business today? I'm like, looking at storms in Canada. It wasn't computing. And he's like, well, I don't understand. If you're from Wisconsin, why are you in Montana or wherever I crossed? Like, I don't understand why you're over here. I'm like, because the storms were closer over here, so this is where I was. Well, it was like 20 minutes of this and that, and I'm just like, at one point I got so frustrated, I said, do you want to look in the car? I'm like, would that speed this up? Like, you can search the vehicle if it would make this quicker. No, I don't have a reason to search your vehicle. I'm like, well, what the hell am I sitting here for? So they looked all this crap up, and he's like, you need to understand that you need your passport. And I said, okay, well, tell the Canadians that. Well, this isn't Canada. And I went, yeah, I know, because Canada was a hell of a lot more friendly than you were. And oh my God, he was so pissed when I said that. Like, you could just see, like, that really set him off. I'm like, well, it's true. They were a hell of a lot friendlier than this guy was. The Canadian guy was just like, oh yeah, maple syrup, sure. Welcome to Canada. The guy asked me, he's like, drugs or weapons with you? I'm like, nope.
Turn right.
He's like, why are you coming to Canada? I'm like, you're supposed to have some storms and I want to look at them. And he's like, oh yeah, we're supposed to have some storms. Type. He's like, all right, welcome to Canada. I'm like, all right. Meanwhile, the United States guy was questioning whether or not I was a citizen. I'm like, dude, I've got Wisconsin license plates on my Wisconsin driver's license.
Turn right.
With a Wisconsin firearms owner card, with a Wisconsin EMS license in my wallet, with an insurance policy from Wisconsin. Everything's got my mailing address on it. Everything adds up. Like, all he had to do was be like, hey, stupid, you need your passport, and, like, could have filled out his paperwork or whatever. But I'm probably on some watch list now. I'm probably going to get, like, questioned if I ever go to Canada again. Probably on, like, the idiot travelers list. They probably got this list of idiot travelers that don't follow the rules, and I'll probably get flagged or something. But, yeah, Canada was very friendly to me. That the Canadian border dude was very friendly. But yeah, you would have thought that I came into this country with like a kilo of cocaine or something. I think that's a lot. I don't know anything about drugs, but you would have thought I came into this country with something bad. And here I'm just like this and just driving And it wasn't even a big deal. Like they filled out a form where I had to like write my passport number down, and I'm like, I don't know my passport number or whatever the hell it is. He's like, well, you need to know this information. I'm like, well, dude, I know. I'm supposed to have it with me, apparently, so that would have solved this problem. So he had to look me up, and he writes it on a sticky note. And he's like, well, you're going to have to fill this out. And you just fill it out and whatever. And for reason for not having documents, I just put, I forgot them. And it was funny because for reason for not having the required documents, there's like a space to write a huge paragraph. And I just wrote, I forgot them, like one sentence. And like he was looking this over, he looked so annoyed at it. I'm like, well, what do you want me to put? But that was a long time ago. That was probably, what, 7 years ago? Long time ago. Folks, we were just leisurely chasing this severe thunderstorm. Not a whole lot going on.
Dispatch to Griffin Fire, responsible for all fires, social months territory at the intersection of Hudson Road and Gate Ridge Road. Dispatch to Griffin Fire, responsible for all fires, social months territory at the intersection of Hudson Road and Gate Ridge Road. Caller about the tree fell on the line, she seen with the smoke and flames. Wasn't passerby, was not sure on the exact location. Only advised it was set at the church out on Hudson.
Something's getting warned again. Popping up yet. Oh, it's the Atlanta storm.
Service in Peachtree City has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern DeKalb County in north-central Georgia, northeastern Fayette County in north-central Georgia, northwestern Henry County in north-central Georgia, south-central Fulton County in north-central Georgia, Clayton County in north-central Georgia, until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:48 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near city of South Fulton, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Atlanta, Fayetteville, Jonesboro, city of South Fulton, East Point, Stockbridge, Union City, Forest Park, Riverdale, College Park, Morrow, Hayfield, Lake City, Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, Lake City, Rex, Ellenwood, Fort Gillem, Conley, and Sandtown. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. If you see wind damage, hail, or flooding, wait until the storm has passed, and then call the National Weather Service toll-free at 1-866-7-634-466 or tweet us your report at NWS Atlanta. A strong thunderstorm will impact portions of Spalding, northeast.
It's kind of pretty. I'm going to stop and actually take a picture of that. Why not?
Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect minor damage to tree limbs and blowing around of light on secured objects. Locations impacted include Griffin, Barnesville, Zebulon, Milner, Williamson, Orchard Hill, East Griffin, Highland Mills, Experiment, Birdie, Vaughan, Chapel Mill, Rover, Liberty Hill, and Zatella. People outdoors should seek shelter immediately.
Totally missed the lightning strike. I hope you guys caught it.
A severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for central and west central Georgia. A strong thunderstorm will impact portions of southern Heard and central Troup counties through 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a strong thunderstorm was near Texas or near Franklin, moving southeast at 20 miles.
Alright, I am not going to post that because it's really lame, but I just wanted to take one so that we could say we took a picture today. And the door is not open. Stop.
Impact. Expect minor damage to driven and going around the light on secured objects. Impact include Light Range, Franklin, Hagel,
Almost got the lightning strike in the photo. Maybe next time.
Gilchrist, Woods Crossroads, Louise, and Glen. People outdoors seek shelter immediately. Thunder, you are close enough to be struck by a lightning. Until the thunderstorm launch remains in effect until 11 p.m. daylight time zone, Central Georgia. Until the thunderstorm launch number 696 remains in effect until 11 p.m. daylight time for the following counties: Georgia, West, Clayton, Columbia, Crawford.
Just cut me the hell off.
Thunderstorm warning for northeast Texas. Thunderstorm much farther north of the lower valley. Therefore, the weather has been canceled. Until the thunderstorm.
Yeah, sorry about that. A little bit of a shake to the camera. I think it's a little bit loose up there. I think I gotta tighten it. Our severe warned storm is still here. There's the sight of it there. We're heading down toward Barnesville right now. I do like these kind of slower days like this because, you know, it's not so much running, well, it is a lot of running around, but it's, you don't really worry about missing something so much because everything's kind of mediocre. So you kind of take whatever you get on. That's a little pretty. It's like gust front on radar. I'll show you that about there we lost visual. That gust front right here, that area of reflectivity, that's dust and maybe a little bit of precipitation getting blown out, but that's basically just stuff getting caught up in the this line of wind out ahead of the storm. So the strongest winds might actually be ahead of the storm. We find a good spot to stop with decent visibility. I'll stop. looks like there's a slight risk in Colorado. That is literally 20 hours away, or 19 hours or whatever, so that's not happening. There's a marginal risk over in parts of Louisiana, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of confidence in that. I haven't looked at models much, but the little bit that I did and talked about it doesn't look that great. SPC doesn't seem too interested in it either. But there's also a marginal risk in the northern Florida peninsula tomorrow, so that might be something. Or maybe I'll go home, I don't know. We'll see what makes sense, because I'm already down here, so if there's something to chase, we'll chase it. I'll have to kind of start making decisions on that, because shit, it's 6 o'clock Eastern already, so if I got to get down there, then I'm going to have to get down there, you know. So I'll probably stop and look at that in a little bit more detail here soon. I think we might be in an okay spot here if we want to stop and watch the storm for a minute. Looks like we might have a spot to do that up here.
For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. The severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Pike County is canceled. The severe thunderstorm which prompted the warning has moved out of the warned area. Therefore, the warning has been canceled. A severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Central and Central Georgia. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Southeast.
All right, where can I park?
At 5:53 p.m.
Conspicuously.
Eastern Daylight Time, a severe
Nowhere.
thunderstorm was located over Chapel Mill, or 8 miles southeast of Griffin, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazard: 60 miles per hour wind gusts.
Well, that's kind of pretty.
Source: radar indicated. Impact: expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Griffin, Barnesville, Milner, Orchard Hill, Eldora, East Griffin, Liberty Hill, Dawkins, Johnsonville, and Chapel Mill. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Muskogee, Central Chattahoochee, and Southern Harris counties. At 5:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time,
Okay.
a severe thunderstorm was located over Highland Park or over Columbus, moving south at 35 miles.
Let me look at tomorrow a little bit here.
Source:
Go ahead and enjoy the view for a minute.
Impact: expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Columbus, North Fort Moore, Wood City, Eupatory, Elliston, Laurel Hills, Green Island Hills, Vista Terrace, Tacoma, Columbus Metropolitan Airport, Rose Hill, Mountain Hill, Benning Hills, Avondale, Benning Park, Margaret Ferry Dam, Fortson, Mulberry Grove, St. Mary's Hills, and Edgewood. For your protection,
Yeah, we're in Barnesville.
A strong thunderstorm will impact portions of southern Heard and central Sioux County through 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a strong thunderstorm.
See, how long is it from Macon to like Lake City here?
At 20 miles per hour. Up to 20 miles per hour wind.
Trying to figure out, because I don't want to go all the way down there tonight and then have tomorrow be a bust, and then that's a bunch of wasted driving. Trying to find a middle ground here.
Around the light, unsecured objects. Locations impacted include Light Range, Franklin, Hugginsville, Waresville, Texas, Harrisville, Hillcrest, West Crossroads, Louise, and Glen. People outdoors seek shelter in
Let me look at day 4, because we're so far southeast that if we get any severe weather out in the plains or something later on, it's going to take extra time to get there, you know. Let's see here. Day 3, kind of a write-off. Never get up there in time. Let's see, day 4, Wednesday to Friday. I read this earlier, but I totally forgot what it said. Let's see, upper level ridge forecast to de-amplify, moving from the northern plains on Wednesday to the Great Lakes on Friday. Axis of instability will remain in the central and northern plains from mid to late week. Isolated to scattered thunderstorms expected to develop each afternoon and evening. Okay. That's for the central and northern plains. Okay. Strongest instability forecast over the Dakotas on Wednesday. The Euro model has SB, which is surface-based CAPE, at about 4,000 joules along the instability axis. Okay. So combined with 0 to 6K shear, 30 to 40 knot, blah, blah, blah. Isolated supercell development possible. Large hail and severe wind gusts, primary threat. Some solutions suggest that upper level ridge will be slower to move east, which would keep the convection more isolated on Wednesday. For this reason, we have not added a severe threat for Wednesday. Similar setup is forecast for Thursday and Friday, which would support a marginal severe threat across the northern plains each afternoon and evening. Okay, so it looks like maybe Wednesday through the weekend we might be out in the plains, so we need to keep that in mind. Let's see, Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, some of the medium range guidance, blah, 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 upper level trough, something. Southwest flow in place across the north central U.S. Added the features, scattered thunderstorms possible across parts of the northern high plains and the Dakotas. Under that scenario, which is favored by the Euro, severe storms would be possible in parts of the northern plains extending south-southeastward. Along the instability axis into the mid-Missouri Valley, severe threat would be shifted eastward into parts of the Mississippi Valley Sunday for the weekend, otherwise models blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I think what my plan is going to be once this rolls through, maybe I'll go back to Macon, because I was going to go down to Valdosta tonight. But I would hate to go all the way south, and then, so I guess what I'm saying is if we wake up tomorrow and tomorrow looks like a bust, would really, really hate to have to drive all the way from like Lake City. Oh, that was cool. Lake City or Valdosta all the way out to like the northern plains or something. If tomorrow's not a bust, it's not such a big deal. Thanks, Rail Fan, by the way. But I guess my point is, we could chase tomorrow if it is not a bust, and then start driving, at least get up to northern Georgia, and then make a substantial part of the drive on Tuesday, and then finish it off on Wednesday and then chase. But I don't want to do that if tomorrow's a bust. If tomorrow is a bust, we'll just take tomorrow and start driving that way. I guess is where I'm going with this. So it's kind of a tricky situation. I don't know. I like being down here, folks, but the only the disadvantage of being down here in the southeast is it's a haul. It is a haul to get out for the stuff. Basically, anything north of I-80 in Nebraska. Oh my God, it's at least a 2-day drive, 2 full days, which is okay, but it's a haul.
effect until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for southeastern Paulding and Lamar counties. At 5:53 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over...
I wonder if the HRRR is right for tomorrow. If the HRRR is right, we could have some storms off and on in the northern peninsula of Florida. I wonder if that's right. If that's accurate, then maybe we got to chase. But that's where, logistics comes into play with situations like this, because it's not so much, it's not even like a financial concern. It's more of a logistics concern, because it's like, crap, do you really want to put yourself in a position where you got to drive and drive and drive and drive and drive? Sometimes yes, if it's worth it. If that makes sense. But HRRR even puts some thunderstorms along the coast. Granted, by like Perry, from like Perry to, like Keaton Beach to Cedar Key. Put some storms there as early as like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern. I don't know. Tomorrow doesn't look like a good water spout day just because of the location that it's in. But tomorrow could be one of those days, too, where you can kind of get by checking stuff out on the beach. So I think we need to keep tomorrow in play for sure.
For Monday too, it looks like a continuation of a kind of the diffuse line moving south, maybe more like a north of Tampa to Tampa area in the morning on Monday, but that's kind of uncertain at the moment. If there's anything more robust looking, Tuesday, Wednesday up in the northern plains, it's probably worth skipping, but I'm going to keep an eye on that in case it looks halfway decent.
When you say a continuation of the line in the Tampa area, are you talking about Tuesday morning or Monday morning?
It's more like, I think it was Tuesday morning, because you have that really I think it's like a weak cold front again. We're getting a second round of that.
Oh,
on Monday, it's creeping down. Yeah, and then on Tuesday, on the 18Z at RRR, it looks like kind of the end of the run on the 18Z. There's like that diffuse line around Tampa, maybe central Florida. It's kind of low end, but there's some offshore stuff, offshore of like St. Pete.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's in the morning though, which is a little interesting, but I remember looking at the 12Z run, and it showed that stuff like coming in like way early, and it actually slowed down on the 18Z. So, I mean, it's the morning, so probably not optimal, but I've seen spouts in the morning here. But honestly, I need to look at the Northern Plains stuff. I don't want to tell you, come down here, because there could be some more robust stuff up there.
Yeah, I kind of look at it as right now. I think Wednesday might suck, but tomorrow looks actually okay. Because even if I stay in Macon, that's only a 3-hour drive tomorrow, and I could probably leave at 9 or 10 a.m. and still get down there. But tomorrow don't look too bad, just for the fact that there's storms somewhat near the beach, and that's usually a win. So it might be worth it. I probably am just going to tentatively plan on driving down there in the morning for something. And even if there is stuff in the plains, I guess I don't mind staying down there as long as there's something. But it's a hell of a drive. So after tomorrow, if it doesn't look like anything else down here, I'll probably start heading back that way though.
Yep, sounds good. I'll see. I might actually end up chasing tomorrow for spouts, but I'll let you know. I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll take a look at the 0Z runs and get you some more information on both threats.
Yeah, tomorrow looks reasonable-ish.
Fort Gillett, Conway, Irondale, and Bonanza. For your protection, you will go in the interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
So yeah, welcome to storm chasing in Georgia. Sometimes it's a whole lot to just sit here and watch. That's okay. Alright folks, I'm going to look for a hotel. I'm not ending the stream. I'm just looking for a hotel to prepare. See if we're going to have sticker shock or not. Staying at IHG. We're cheating on Hilton right now. We're staying at IHG because they got this, not a sponsor. I think I have to say that. Not a sponsor. But every 2 nights you stay up until the end of the month. For every 2 nights you get 3,000 bonus points. So it's like an extra 1,500 points a night. And those add up because when you get into a situation where you're done with a chase, but the Holiday Inn next door is $180 before tax, well, maybe it's 35,000 points. Well, you've got those points and you can use them. So that's how I get by out here. When the hotels are expensive, I just use points. So we got to snatch those points up. You know, and just so you folks know, I am a Diamond member, so I get double points. I'm a triple Diamond member. Diamond member at Best Western. Even though I don't stay there, they just status match. I just did that for bragging rights. Hilton and IHG. I don't do the Marriott. I think I could probably actually qualify for the, it's not titanium. What is it, like Ambassador Elite? I think you've got to spend like $20,000 a year in hotels and stay for, is it 100 nights? If I stayed exclusively at Marriott, I think we could do that. But Marriott's so freaking expensive. Like their Fairfields and stuff, they're freaking $180 a night, and all they are is a Hampton Inn. So it's just not worth it. So we're not quadruple diamond though. I'm sorry. Sorry, Marriott. Unless they want to status match me, then we could be possibly the first quadruple diamond. The reason I was able to get that, folks, so as ridiculous as it sounds, I got diamond status at Hilton by status matching with, hang on. Howdy. What's that? Yeah, just looking now. You're good here, though.
Oh, yeah. I seen it and I was like,
oh, yeah.
Ain't no way it's storm chasing here.
Yeah, I'm just watching.
I was last night.
I'm sorry?
I was last night.
Nothing special. Right? Hey, you too. We are safe nowhere. But no, what I was saying was, so I got status at IHG, and then IHG screwed me at the end of last year. I was supposed to get diamond, but I was like 2 nights away from getting diamond, and they're like, LOL, it's the end of the year, so they freaking erased all those reward nights. And I'm like, God damn you. But I kept gold status, so I got a hold of Hilton, and they status matched, so I used IHG's gold status to status match Hilton. So they status matched me to gold. I stayed a few nights, and they gave me diamond. And then I went back to IHG customer service and, you know, basically pissed and moaned about them snatching my stuff away. And then I'm like, I want you to status match. And like, okay. So then they status matched me diamond off of Hilton. Basically. Cheated the system. It's like a loop. But hey, it counts. Makes me feel important. It saves money, I tell you what. Not a sponsor. North Central Corita and southwestern Fulton counties. At 6:17 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over Chattahoochee Hills, or 10 miles southwest of the city of South Fulton, moving east at 30 miles per hour. We need a diamond emoji. I know, I need to get working on that. Man, this storm seems like it hasn't freaking moved.
Impact. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include City of South Fulton, Palmetto, Chattahoochee Hills, Roscoe, and Carlgate. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for northwestern Henry, south central Fulton and Clayton counties. At 6:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over Riverdale, 48 Northborough, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour.
Okay.
60 miles per hour with gusts and any size hail. Source.
Commercial label medic unit. Can I have the unit en route to 960 Willow Wind Circle, 960 Willow Wind Circle, the Beamont Pine Apartment? It's going to be for a male who has a face laceration.
Forest Park, Riverdale, College Park.
Yeah, I actually do have a special parking spot. It doesn't have my name on it, but it does say Diamond Elite members only. IHG and Hilton have that, so. Oh yeah, we get the special parking space. I got told I was being arrogant bragging about the diamond stuff a couple of streams ago. I hope you guys know that it's like I don't take it that seriously.
Turn right.
It's partially it's for entertainment purposes. Right. We don't really go around and tell people they have to be diamond members to talk to us. I don't really do that. It's just a joke. Turn right or left? Freaking
Turn
heifer.
right.
Well, thanks for telling me. Ah, shit. Alright, I'm totally gonna do something illegal. Alright, bud, which way are you going? Yeah, blinkers. Invented them years ago. Okay, I meant to go this way. Folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to I-75. We'll kind of be sticking with this storm for a little bit. But I'm going to prepare to kind of get set up here for the next one. But we're going to stay live because we're going to be with the storm for a little while. Mesoscale discussion. Yeah, some signs of clustering with the Alabama and western Georgia storms. Storms might persist south of the weather watch. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, these storms just aren't much to write home about today, but this is kind of what I expected. Didn't we come through here earlier? I feel like we did. Seems like kind of a cute town, I guess.
For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. The severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern to Kappa, northeastern Fayette counties is canceled. The severe thunderstorm, which prompted the warning, has moved out of the warning area. 4. The warning has been canceled. Until the thunderstorm until 11 p.m. Daylight time for north central Georgia. Until the thunderstorm warning is in effect effective 3 p.m. Daylight time for northwest Tennessee.
Yeah, you know.
So the storm's about to go over I-75 right now, and that's where we're headed, so we're going to basically be back underneath this thing shortly. We spent a lot of time down here the past few weeks. Didn't have much of a choice, with the vehicle breaking down and stuff. But we had Hurricane Debbie, that persisted for a while. So that was a good, solid week of streaming. Sometimes I'll tell you what, I like the fuel mileage on this truck better. Those old body style Tahoes get pretty piss poor fuel mileage, but I haven't even used a quarter of a tank today, which is good. Because even my old Tahoe, I think it's 14, 15. Pretty bad. It's kind of nice. I don't feel like I'm dumping so much fuel in. No, I never said Radar Omega was free. I just said that once you purchase the base app, you don't have to get a monthly subscription unless you want to add features. If you don't want to add features, you don't have to pay anything other than, just downloading the app and purchasing the app. I-75 is going to be probably full of crazy people with the rain. Radar presentation on this storm is not very impressive. I do like Georgia. Storm chasing here kind of... There's parts of this state that are not as bad as others. Like, you go down by, like, Cordell and Valdosta. Much better terrain. Still lots of trees and hills, but it's flatter, and there's more openings. Kind of transitioning more into that Florida terrain down there, which is really good, by the way. Day now, we should get got a little ways to go yet. I guess I thought we were coming up on 75 faster than we were. But a lot of these storms are kind of dying down. It almost looks like Alabama's got the more robust risk right now. West Central Alabama, south of Tuscaloosa, Selma.
In half a mile, slight left.
Severe thunderstorm warning, northwest of Montgomery. That one actually doesn't look too bad. I kind of wish I was over there. East of Montgomery, like in the Auburn area, there's warnings for 1.5 inch hail. So those storms are more intense. I guess Alabama won today. So
slight left.
It was just kind of a crapshoot of, you know, where was the place to be. I picked Georgia. Am I supposed to? Oh, frick. It's kind of a sharp. It catches you off guard. stop sign for? Supposed to be for the train track. No trains. We're good, I guess. No train here. I already saw our train. Maybe another one. No. Alright. Couple cows. Yeah, they got this thing under a special weather statement. No severe thunderstorm warnings, just special weather statements for 50-mile-per-hour winds. It goes right down 75 into Macon. Stop sign about caught me off guard. Nobody's coming now. We're about up here to 75. We kind of parallel 75 until we get to the entrance. Here's I-75. We're underneath that storm right now, but really nothing to show for it.
Send me a reference to a launch plan that's sit down a power line. It's on I-1838.
I-75 and I guess drive through this thing. It looks like traffic's moving pretty slow over there. So that's probably not a good sign. But it is I-75, so you know how that goes.
Turn left.
you gotta. Dude.
Turn right onto the Road.
Forsyth right now. Try to get way over into this left lane because that's the lane that's actually moving. Yeah, we're actually underneath the storm. If you look at Radar Omega, we're under it. And it's not really raining that much. So this storm is definitely dying. It's definitely crapping out. So much for this lane moving.
Got the whole road blocked. Get the power company around. We got power lines down.
Already moved through.
So I don't know, folks. We're probably going to start wrapping things up. It's kind of a short stream today, but whatever. We were here. Plan on tomorrow maybe being down in Florida or nothing at all. I don't know. See how it looks here later on.
Yeah, 40 to the power company.
Traffic. Stop. Why, people? It's just rain. That's all it is. That's all it is. Just turn your wipers on. Alright, folks. Well, that's probably going to be about it. It's nice to be down here for this. Yeah, we're just going to stop, I guess. I don't think there's an accident up here. I think people just don't know how to drive in the freaking rain. Like, this is just, like, super annoying. This is the one thing that really drives me nuts. Like, folks, just turn your windshield wipers on. Like, good Lord. Like, we're at a dead stop here almost because it's sprinkling. You're kidding me. It's this stretch of interstate. It's Atlanta all the way to Macon. It's always like this. Every time it sprinkles.
I got engine 4. In route the address of 584 Stack Drive, 584 Stack Drive. It's going to be a reference to a tree down on top, power lines down also.
Now the lane ends, so that's an extra freaking wild card. Can't get over because I hate I-75 stretch of interstate. Get worse than I hate that little stretch of I-10 going through New Orleans. Or I-12, whatever that is. Now this idiot over here on the left, what the fuck are you doing? Really? Passing on the shoulder like, dude, like, we can't get over, like, oh my god.
Apartment.
people.
Along activation.
It's like a test of people's road rage, this stretch of highway.
Engine 16, ladder 3, ladder 21, battalion 2, rescue 8. Fire alarm activation, 200 Juniper Lane, building 200, Ansley Village, apartments. This call is for engine 18, engine 16, ladder 3, ladder 21, battalion 2, rescue 8. Cross Street, Zebulon Road, timeout, 1845, acknowledged by scene 3.
I feel like there's about to be a wreck on this road. So everybody's stabbing their brakes, locking them up. People behind me damn near hitting me. Jesus. I just don't like this stretch of interstate. Macon to Atlanta. Everything else is fine. Just this stretch, like 45 minutes worth of interstate, just sucks. Anytime it sprinkles.
Engine 16 clear. 23.
It's like no one has heard of a zipper merge. It's like no one's ever heard of turning their windshield wipers on either. Holy smokes. Oh yeah, I hate that. You get the people in the far left lane trying to merge right, but the people in that second to left lane not letting them in. It's like you realize you've got to let them in or there's nowhere for them to go, and then they're like being stubborn. It's like just let the cars in. Like holy smokes. But anyway, it's been fun. The freaking speed racer and his Camry here. Surprised there's not a wreck on this road. Gonna be like this for a while too. This shower is going right down the road.
Hey, I'm gonna be out. I'm going to dinner for my brother's birthday, but if you need me or want to talk about like the model runs later, I'll be on, so I'll let you know.
Alright, sounds good.
Talk to you later.
Yep, here we are, freaking stopping again. My God, guys. What the hell? Like, what is it out here with the sprinkles? Is everybody just, it's like people forget how to drive. Any other time, it's fine. This is why I couldn't live in this little stretch of Georgia. There's just no way. I'm convinced this is one of the most aggravating stretches of interstate in the country. Alright folks, that's about it. If you are new here, please subscribe and like the video on your way out. You can also visit seethestorm.net. We've got a Discord server if you'd like to join that. That does not cost anything. It's over on our website.
On road, across here to Birchwood Drive. Somebody advised there's going to be a tree falling on that vehicle. Also advised no injuries.
So, had fun today, and we'll probably get out of here and maybe get ready for tomorrow, it looks like. So see you later, everyone. Thanks again for watching, and have a good night.